Welcome to Beyond the Lines. Jared Gamble, Felipe Fontes bringing it to you another week.
For sure, man. This is episode 3 now. You know, we got a lot of firepower today. This is gonna be a good one. This one's gonna be intense and fun. See what we can get into.
Yeah, man, we got some good topics coming in. You know, some hypotheticals and this whole coronavirus thing going on. Not too much stuff going on, but we got some people saying some funny things, and we want to talk about it. You might think it's a little bit funnier than me because I think, I might think there's some validity with some of them, but they're going to be entertaining.
Yeah, when you don't got a lot of sports right now, or live sports, hypotheticals are fun to get into. So I'm high energy this morning. It looks like you are too, so it's going to be fun. Let's get into it.
Let's go. All right, here we go. 5 quick takes. Number 1. With the NFL schedule release coming out yesterday, there's always a lot of talk about strength of schedule, which team has the easiest schedule, and how that's going to determine the playoff race and everything on this season. Now, I've always believed in that if a team is good, a team is good, and a tougher strength of schedule isn't going to make a playoff team a non-playoff team, right? Maybe if it's a 1 or 2 game difference, but I think that's all a strength of schedule will give you is a 1 or 2 game difference. Now, I've been pretty clear about my feelings and thoughts about Tampa Buccaneers, how good they are, or lack of good they are. But I think they're a middle-of-the-pack team. I think they're 8-8. And looking at their schedule, I think it repeats that. I'll put it up right here, and we'll be able to see exactly what I'm saying. But about 8-8. I think what people underestimate is how good their division is. Carolina, who knows what they can do? Teddy Bridgewater, they have an MVP candidate in Christian McCaffrey. Atlanta, have a bunch of terrible years, and all of a sudden we've seen it. They blow up, and then they make the Super Bowl, or they make the NFC Championship game. For some reason, they always lose to the Packers. It seems like the Saints. The Saints are the Saints. That season opener, there's a lot of talk about it. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. These teams don't even compare. And the Buccaneers are 6.5-point underdogs right now. So Vegas already put them at pretty big underdogs, and clearly they kind of understand. So let's stop the hype around the Buccaneers. They're going to go 8-8. Schedule release yesterday. It proved that they're going to be average. Number 2, I'm going to keep this one pretty short and sweet because I don't think there's too much explaining to do here. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to repeat as Super Bowl champions. The receiving corps is still intact. Tyreek Hill's hamstrings are huge. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Tight end is still there. Travis Kelce, in my opinion, the best in the league. And they just brought in a running back that apparently is a Swiss Army knife out of LSU. We saw him in college. He was really good. But Christian McCaffrey, Swiss Army knife himself, said he can do it all. And we've seen what Andy Reid has done with running backs in the past. Brian Westbrook, Jamal Charles, Kareem Hunt. This guy is the next in line. Most importantly, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. For the past few years, it's been obvious that, we haven't seen another quarterback with as much talent in NFL history as Aaron Rodgers. It's clear. We want to talk about Tom Brady's greatness. Peyton Manning was great. But as far as pure talent and in one player, we haven't seen it like Aaron Rodgers. And we haven't seen it since until Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is extremely talented. The mobility, the arm strength, the precision, the flair. It's like you get an Aaron Rodgers, a Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, a Tom Brady leadership, put it all together, you have Patrick Mahomes. This guy's exciting to watch, and he's leading the Chiefs to another Super Bowl, and it's pretty straightforward. Number 3, we've heard a countless amount of NBA fans, journalists, players involved in the 1990s talk about how undervalued and underrated Scottie Pippen was during his time playing next to Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls. We've even heard it be said that when Michael Jordan left to do his little baseball shenanigans, Scottie Pippen was the best player in the NBA. In other words, the Bulls had the 2 best players in the NBA when Jordan was there. Dennis Rodman added some fuel to that yesterday when he said that even if LeBron James was in the NBA in the 1990s, Scottie Pippen would still be the second best player in the NBA. Now, a lot of people don't even think that Scottie Pippen was the second best player in the NBA when LeBron wasn't there. But I'm here to say that he would be within that same realm. I'm not going to say he'd be outright better than LeBron James, but he'd be within that realm. A lot of the likes of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard today, which are in the same realm of LeBron James. Not historically, but today, and Kawhi Leonard can build that case later. When Jordan left for those couple of seasons, Pippen averaged about 21 points, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds a game. Now, that's not too far from LeBron James, and if he played in today's three-point-centric NBA, you can bump his scoring average up about 4 to 5 points, in my opinion. So yeah, no, I don't know if he'd be outright better than LeBron James, but he'd be within that same realm. It would definitely be a debate. Number 4, Giannis's Twitter was hacked yesterday, and one of the tweets that came out of a lot of them, some of them inappropriate, and he apologized for everything. But one of them that was a little bit on the easier side, the lighter side, was that he said he was going to State Warriors. We knew he was hacked, and he wouldn't just come out and say that anyways. I mean, he still has another season to play. But the speculation has been there. The Warriors have been reported of wanting to go after him in free agency as soon as he's ready to go in 2021. And even when they had KD, that's when the rumor started. And they never really backed down from that. If they could add Giannis, they would be the most dominant team of all time. In fact, it'd be an upgrade over Kevin Durant just because of pure fit with the team. You're not taking shots away from Clay. You're not taking shots away from Steph Curry. And now you have a big dominating presence that can play better defense than KD. And yeah, he's not going to be your ISO player that KD was, but I would argue that took away from the greatness of the Warriors. I mean, they won 73 games without KD. When with KD, they didn't really come necessarily that close to that. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to say they'd be the greatest team of all time. They'd be better than the Bulls, in my opinion. They'd be better than the 80s Celtics and Lakers. They'd be the greatest ever. Number 5. Antonio Brown posted on a Snapchat last week a picture of himself wearing a full Ravens uni. Top to bottom, helmet to cleats, purple and black. I'll tell you what, it looks really damn good, and I really want to see it too. Because I think if the Ravens add Antonio Brown, they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. Now, the reason I say that is because I understand that they're very good and that they're probably the second best team in the AFC. But I do think they're far from the Kansas City Chiefs because of one sole reason, and that's the quarterback position. I understand that Lamar Jackson is really good, and I'm not trying to degrade him in any way, but he's no Patrick Mahomes. And I know that Lamar won MVP last year. He had a great ascension from his rookie year to his second year. But we got to remember that Patrick Mahomes was hurt quite a few games last year, and he ended up coming back and winning the Super Bowl. So let's not put the two in the same realm. I understand that they're both extremely dynamic. They're both really fun to watch. But Lamar Jackson isn't Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you give the Ravens Antonio Brown, you're giving them a top-notch talent that's going to help Lamar Jackson. They already added J.K. Dobbins to pair with Mark Ingram, and they have Mark Andrews there. And Hollywood Brown, Antonio Brown's cousin. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch, and there's a lot more than just entertainment going on there. It's going to be something special there if it goes on in Baltimore. So I really want to see it happen. They'll be contenders if they can get them, and I want to see them get them.
All right, here we go, man. Your worst take, man. Right off the bat. Straight up, I'm going to give it an F. I'll let you ponder on what you think I'm talking about here. But, yeah, I think it's terrible that Dennis Rodman said, and you agreed to an extent, that if LeBron was back in their time, the 90s, that he wouldn't unanimously be, the second best player in the league. Scottie Pippen's got something to say with that. And you said you agree. Scottie wouldn't be outright, but you think he's in that LeBron would be in that tier with him, right? Maybe in the same tier. If Kawhi Leonard was in that time, you think Kawhi Leonard would be in that discussion as well. I think it's laughable. I think it's for some reason LeBron's always had the disrespect, especially since his Jordan documentaries came out. The disrespect is on a high, man. Scottie Pippen I don't want to slight Scottie Pippen. He was a good player. He's a great Robin. He's a great Robin, but Robin, we're comparing a Robin to a Batman. Like, come on. We're comparing a Robin to a Batman.
LeBron James was labeled the chosen one coming out of high school. What you mean he's always been disrespected?
No, by the older generation? Oh, yeah, they disrespect all the new school players. They think they were just – they think –
What kind of disrespect you heard towards, Kawhi Leonard?
Because Kawhi Leonard doesn't have the label as this great, or he doesn't have the Kevin Durant, the Steph Curry, or the LeBron label.
He's not. Kawhi Leonard didn't leave the Spurs after winning championships and after winning a Finals MVP. Went to Toronto, which was famous every single year going to the finals and not winning, or not going to the finals, but going to the playoffs and not making it to the finals and not winning. He goes there, he wins the championship there, he brings the championship there, so that shows his worth. And then he leaves and goes to the Clippers to start his own, to see what he can do there, to really continue his legacy there. It's different than Kevin Durant and LeBron James. These guys built their own legacies the way they did. And the OGs, the reason they think about them that way is because that's the way they built themselves. They did it themselves. They did it to themselves.
But to the extent where they'll go along and saying they couldn't last in this era. He's 7-foot shooter. Kevin Durant wouldn't last. Yeah, okay. 265, 6'9" point guard wouldn't last. Okay. But anyway, going back to this, Scottie Pippen, I don't want to slight him because I think Scottie Pippen was a good player. Like, it was before our time, but we have enough to, watch and see that he was a good player. But
That in consideration, for sure.
he wasn't what LeBron is and what he's done for the game and the accomplishments he has and, having exceeding the pressure he had coming out of high school. I think it's just it trumps whatever that Scottie Pippen's, skill set is or all his accomplishments. Scottie Pippen's, a 3-time All-NBA player, first team, 3 times. LeBron's been in the league 17 years. I guarantee he's around 13, 14 first team All-NBAs. LeBron's 16-time All-Star. Scottie Pippen was a 7. LeBron's got, 4 MVPs. Scottie's got none. LeBron's got 3 Finals MVPs. Scottie's got none.
Circumstance too, like the teams they're playing with. LeBron, it's different. If LeBron never played with a Michael Jordan, like it's completely different when you're talking about the type of players they're playing with, the teammates they have around them, the circumstances they're playing in, everything.
But that wouldn't have anything to do with the first. You could play with Jordan and still get first All-NBA team more than 3 times. You could be higher in the MVP discussion.
That's the point, though, is that Scottie Pippen has always been seen as undervalued and underrated. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So if he was properly seen as what he was, then maybe he wouldn't have 13, 14 All-NBAs, but he'd have 10, 11.
Possibly. Sure. I just think that what Scottie Pippen, the difference between him and LeBron. I mean, LeBron's better at almost everything outside of, you can argue, defense. LeBron was a pretty damn good defender his whole career. He picked it back up this year. But
as good a defender as Pippen.
He wasn't as good as a defender as Pippen or as recognized as a defender, but LeBron would guard 1 through 5, 1 through 4 easily. He shut down an MVP Derrick Rose in 2011 in the playoffs. So LeBron's about that on defense back in his prime, and he's back to it this year. But anyways, LeBron's a better passer. LeBron's a better shooter. LeBron's a better all-around scorer. LeBron's a better playmaker. Scottie Pippen was good at his role. He had his role of play defense, be a sidekick to MJ. LeBron's role ain't to ever to be a sidekick.
What about when Jordan left those couple of years? Scottie Pippen had to pick up his game. I know you watched The Last Dance. There was a lot of talk about when Jordan left, Scottie Pippen was the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, that's what they said.
And he brought up his scoring average. He was averaging around 21 to 22 a game, points-wise. Assists around 5 to 6 and rebounds 7 to 8. So he's not too far from LeBron.
That's far from LeBron.
And compare eras, though. If he played in today's 3-point era, I'm pretty sure his scoring average would bump up quite a bit.
See, we don't know that. See, that's like I could argue if
to take threes. Everybody that's playing today, it's you didn't have no centers taking threes in the 90s.
No,
you're definitely going to be taking more threes.
But who knows if they're going to be good at it? Like, you got players like Scottie Pippen who are about his frame set, not necessarily good 3-point shooters. Draymond Green, the other players along the, who's like 6'9", 230, that never developed that consistent jumper. But I don't think that
90s he would have a lesser scoring average than he does now.
Probably. Oh no, in the night, yeah. I mean, it's hard for that. I don't like judging like that era part of it because it's something that they weren't working on. So it's like I don't know if he would develop a 3-point shot. I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't know if the game of speed would be different for him. But it does that's besides the point because Scottie Pippen wasn't even the second best player in the league in the 90s. So does that make Karl Malone better than LeBron? Does that make Hakeem Olajuwon better than LeBron? David Robinson? Are they just did Scottie pass all of them? Or all those guys past LeBron as well. Is like LeBron falling from universally recognized the 3rd, 4th best player in the world to like the 9th, 10th, 11th now. Skip Bayless got you on his payroll or what?
No, see, there's the best argument you have right there, and that's why I say in the realm, and I don't say outright. Scottie Pippen, right? He might not have been even the second best player in the world. You do have the Karl Malones, the Olajuwon. You have the different players there that could have been better. But Scottie Pippen was within those players as top top 5, 7, 8, wherever you want to kind of put these players in. And I think if LeBron was in there, LeBron would be one of those players as well. And it'd be kind of interchangeable there as far as who you want to take. Just like in the 2000s, you could argue Shaq, Tim Duncan. I think it'd be one of those things where it's these guys play they play similar positions, I guess you could say, about Scottie Pippen and LeBron as far as being a point forward and everything like that. But
I think we're sliding LeBron so much, man. To now, Pippen was universally, recognized as a top 50 player. I don't think if you're the second best player in the league, in your era, you're a top 50 player. I just think I don't know why this is now a discussion that Scottie Pippen and LeBron. It feels like Scottie Pippen has now passed up Larry Bird, has now passed up, Malone, Barkley, all these guys. He's passed up. Scottie Pippen's in the conversation. Let me tell you this. Scottie's in the conversation with Carmelo Anthony, Paul Pierce. He's in those cats. Don't jump to LeBron. He ain't in there.
See, this is where you're taking the argument and taking it the wrong way. Dennis Rodman never said he's greater all time than LeBron James, right? You're taking all his accolades, everything he's done career-wise, and then you're comparing that to Scottie Pippen. LeBron James is a greater all-time player than Scottie Pippen, and 100%. Your whole Larry Bird argument, 100%, you're 100% right with that. But we're not talking about all-time career legacy. He's saying if he played in the 90s, at that time, Scottie Pippen would be better than LeBron James.
I don't see where Rodman, I don't know how he goes with that, because Scottie Pippen is not better at anything but one thing than LeBron. So if we're back in the 90s, there's one thing Scottie's better at. That one's like literally blasphemous to me, because it just doesn't. I can't comprehend. I want to know the things Rodman said on what he's better at. I want him to name like at least 2 other than defense. And Scottie Pippen was watching that Last Dance. This man's a quitter. He's a quitter. So I don't know if quitters were the second best player in the league or something like that. We can.
You call him a quitter?
Yeah. Remember, he wanted to quit. Yeah, I'm sitting out. Oh, I'm sitting out. I'm doing this. I don't want to play. I mean, I get it, the money thing, but he run out.
Justified it. And Scottie Pippen's also been slighted for being that game where he was like sick and had a migraine and he wasn't able to see and whatever, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Last time I checked, LeBron James was sitting in the finals because he was cramping.
Yeah, and a doctor came on ESPN and said there's no way you could play with that. That's hard. Cramp's harder than a migraine, man. Cramp, you can't physically move.
You call a spade, man.
You cramps, you can't physically move. Migraine, I'm not saying the migraine, that's hard. Like if it's like, if it's.
See, he said he couldn't, bro.
Yeah, you think MJ believed that? No.
I know he did it. That's the thing, though. That's the whole part of the argument. I don't know. I think I'm saying wrong,
but yeah. Anyways, I don't think Scottie Pippen would. I think LeBron would be. LeBron's closer to Jordan. That's the argument that LeBron would be in. LeBron, Jordan, not LeBron and Scottie Pippen. That's why I think it's a terrible take from you and Rodman.
All right, legacy-wise, I agree with you, but I just don't think it's legacy. But
what is it? Snowing in Miami or something? Put a hoodie on, man.
It's chilly in here, man. That AC kicked in.
Yeah, I didn't know it was.
I was kind of shivering a little bit during that Pippen argument. I'm comfy now, so I'll be able to hit a little bit better.
Just making sure it's not didn't just start snowing in Miami, man. But
global warming got everything kind of.
Yeah, I know, right? 2020 is crazy, man. Who knows? But I'm getting in your the best take, man. Your best take. I'm going to give it the Kansas City Chiefs. Excuse me. You're saying that you think they'll repeat. I give that a B+. And even though I think it's a good take, I think it's what they have as a collective unit and stuff. And Pat Mahomes is arguably the best quarterback in the league. If you want to argue him or Russell Wilson, maybe even toss in Aaron Rodgers. He's got the perfect coach with him in Andy Reid. He's got the perfect coach. He's got the weapons. He's got the speed on the outside, the tight end. He's got everything, man. The defense picked it up. I think they were actually underrated in a way because they got takeaways. But I give it a B+ because it's so early. Because I like to go and do my game by game picks every year on like a little Excel sheet. So I like to see what time they play this game or the team they play, who they played the week before and stuff like that. But if I were to go to early preseason pick, I would say that's a good choice because it is hard to repeat, but what they have, and I think they're so fun, and they got the media on their side. I think the media loves them. The media didn't really love the Patriots, a lot of the times. Media don't like these teams that win a lot. Maybe it's once you win a lot. I don't know who.
Some time.
But yeah, I think they got everything going on their side, and I don't think there'll be a Super Bowl. I don't think there'll be a Super Bowl hangover with that team.
Yeah, the biggest thing with me is Patrick Mahomes is so damn good. It's like you said, he's within the top 3 quarterbacks. And if you could pair a great quarterback with the coach, who else would you choose in Andy Reid, right? So I think it's a combination there. And you have those 2 things going. And like you said, the receiver corps, the tight end, the running back out of LSU now that they're praising like crazy. And then again, what coach would you rather pair a running back with? We've seen what Andy Reid's done with Jamal Charles, Kareem Hunt, and Brian Westbrook in Philadelphia.
That's who he compares them to. He said Westbrook.
Yeah. So I don't see them regressing. And the biggest thing is like when we look at teams that win and that are those dynamic teams of a decade or whatever, and I think the Chiefs are that, they always have a great quarterback. And what could stop them from repeating and winning more is circumstances outside of their grasp, right? So with the Packers, we know a lot of things were going on with that organization, with Aaron Rodgers, and he got one. Cool, yeah, he should have gotten more. We all know. Right. But the Chiefs, I don't see those kinds of just organizational mishaps that happened in Green Bay, that happened with other teams that could have been better. This team is just so good, and when you have a quarterback like that and a coach like that, it's just, in my opinion, you're destined to win multiple championships, and they are. I think they're the best team in the NFL, and it's like not even close. Like, it's, for me to choose anyone else, I think I'm really putting myself on a limb to choose another team to be a favorite right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And plus, they're in the AFC. The AFC is, weaker than the NFC, so I don't think they have as much challenges outside of really just Baltimore with Brady being gone. I mean, if you trust Tennessee and teams like that, I don't know. But yeah, I agree, man. They got the perfect formula. And when you have that great young quarterback and the receivers that pair with them and the tight end, and it's like all these guys are on their primes. They're not
25.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill's what, 26?
Yeah.
Kelsey's 27, 28 maybe. Like maybe it's a bit older, I'm not sure, but they got a rookie running back now. Like they're not these guys that are 30, 31 skill position players. I think what they have is in like the 2 years ago when they lost to Patriots, that's when Mahomes broke the scene, right? He broke the scene that year. Last year was really his first year of, hey, this guy's it.
Yeah.
And you win the title on that year.
Right.
You've got this is his third year. It's gonna be his third year full-time starter. I think
in this season, Super Bowl in his third and Super Bowl MVP. And last year, if he wouldn't have gotten hurt in the middle of the season, like we know Lamar Jackson had a great season, but he really could have won that MVP award.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it last year when he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always I hit the Chiefs early when everybody was on the Ravens. About week 12, I was like, I'm the Chiefs. I think they have a real good shot at winning it all. It's just everything they got, and that offense is, deadly. And I think the defense is, like I said earlier, it is underrated in a way. They're gonna let up yards.
Yeah.
But they were top 8 in points allowed. They had a lot of takeaways, so they do their damage when it's needed, and I think that's super important for a defense when you could do that damage when it's needed. And I think they're loaded, man. My preseason pick, if I had to, I would say I think the Chiefs right now repeat.
Right, and we all know the best defense is a great offense. So even at defense not being A1, you know what I'm saying, top notch. It's when you got an offense like that, you're going to be playing better defense because the other team is going to be forced to be more aggressive and be more aggressive. You're going to get more interceptions. You're going to get more turnovers, and it's just the way the ball is going to turn. So, the Chiefs are far and away the best team in the NFL. And I want to say that I know it's early, like you said, but I really do want to say that they're favorites right now, and it's really not close. And the Baltimore Ravens are are a good competition for them. But at the quarterback position, when it's that big of a discrepancy, they're far and away.
Yeah. So do you think NFC wise, do you think there's a team that,
No,
could kind of during the year that maybe you don't think? Not the Niners?
no.
No. No, I see. I agree with you right now.
That's Mahomes will tear that ass apart.
Yeah, pause. But yeah, he's Mahomes, man. He's different. He's arguably
Yeah.
I think we can all say maybe old heads will get mad, but I think he's probably one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen talent wise, skill wise.
And the thing about him is, like, we say talent-wise, Aaron Rodgers could be the greatest of all time, or is the greatest of all time, whatever you want to think about that.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes could have the accolades and the legacy
Right.
championships to back that up, right?
No, yeah.
I hope he keeps it going, but I definitely think this year he has a really good chance to repeat.
For sure. I 100%. I gave it a B plus. Actually, I think I'm gonna bump it up to an A minus.
That's what, hey, see, I had to do my convincing, but we got.
You talked me into it even more. Hottest take, Felipe. My favorite one. See what you got cooking today. You believe all these rumors circling around? It's been happening for couple years. Giannis going to the Warriors. That could be his next stop. That could be the Warriors' next get. Of course, his Twitter got hacked. Not that it means anything, but he's like, hey, I love the Warriors. I'm going there. Yeah. But it's kind of a thing that we're like, hey, this actually might come to fruition and might be true. You said you think they'd be the greatest team ever with Giannis on that squad, and I think it's a hot. I think it's. I'm gonna give it a C because here's why. I think him on paper, even on the court, not just paper, what is going to be great. It's going to be a good team. He's a great player. Right. He's a very good player. But I think the difference is with Kevin Durant Kevin Durant was there. Kevin Durant was already accomplished. He didn't have a ring, but he did go to the finals, right? He was in the Eastern Conference Finals a few times, right? I think he didn't really have any blunders in the playoffs. You could argue that 3-1 lead coming back, but that wasn't all his fault. Russ had things to do with that. I just think Giannis, we haven't seen from Giannis yet in the playoffs on, like, hey, we fear this guy. I don't think opponents fear Giannis like that. I think when Kevin Durant steps up on the court, they fear Kevin Durant. They say, this guy's a killer. I think Giannis has too many deficiencies in his game right now, to be like, that's going to make them the greatest of all time. I get it because he could drive, and you got the shooters, and it looks prettier. Like, hey, how do you stop the drive? How do you stop this? But Giannis is a guy who he's got the ball putting his head down or taking a Euro step from the free throw line. You plug in KD's working that mid-range, working the three, doesn't necessarily have to have the ball in his hands, and it's just the formula is just it's too good. I think Giannis on that team is kind of a different mix, even though it seems prettier than what it actually may be.
Here's the thing: the deficiencies in Giannis's game that you mentioned is exactly what would make him thrive in Golden State. He's not a ball dominant player. He doesn't need the ball in his hands.
I don't know about that.
You're taking the ball out of Steph and Clay. You're taking the ball out of the two of the best shooters and scorers of all time. When you have KD, how much
they won 2? They should have won 3 though. Like that. What else could you ask for? They still won championships. They should have won. They would have won 3.
Be better with Giannis. The fit would be better. They were 73-9 without KD. When KD came, they didn't replicate that. Now I know they won the championships. They lost that year in 73-9. I know all that. But the fit with KD, you had so much talent. It's almost like you couldn't not win, right? And if they had KD that third year, they probably would have won 2 last year.
Sure. They win every year, I think.
But Giannis gives them an element that allows the different pieces they already have to be exponentially greater. Did Steph and Clay get better when KD was there? I don't know. I mean, you
can't really get better. You can't get that much better when you're on top. I mean, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, but as individual players, they didn't get necessarily better. In fact, their numbers decreased a bit, which they should with KD. My point is with Giannis, I don't think their numbers would decrease, and I think they would benefit even more from having that big dominant presence inside, the same way players around Shaq dominated inside. But Giannis is way more athletic. He's way more versatile, especially today's day and age where you have that versatile athletic big man. Giannis is exactly that. He's gonna defend better than KD. He's gonna his offensive game isn't predicated off. He's not a great scorer. We know that, but that's not the point. Your scores are going to come from where they're coming right now. And Giannis is going to handle everything else in between, and he's going to be that dominant presence. The fact that he hasn't been dominant and as far as scaring people with the Bucks and stuff like that, I think he's on that steady ascension right now. I think last year was a huge year for him. That's
right.
MVP and everything, and he did show how dominant he was throughout the playoffs. But that doesn't take away from what he could do with the Warriors. And always when you do have that team around you, and you have those pieces around you, that elevates your game, yourself, and you can be more dominant yourself. So I think the fit-wise plus what the Warriors already have, Steph and Clay being amazing shooters, Steve Kerr there, knowing how to maximize a lineup, it would be the death lineup on steroids.
Here. The thing is, though, with Giannis, I actually think Giannis is a bit overrated in a way. I think we crown this guy like he's accomplished anything other than an MVP. But I think he's still a great player. He's young. But with Kevin Durant, when you insert him in the lineup, you can't necessarily play a big on him because he's got guard-like skills. So a lot of the times, if you notice, you have teams putting smaller guys on him, so he's just shooting right over you. It's one-on-one because you can't double him because you got Clay and Steph out there. When you got Giannis, you can, in a way, like a Bam Adebayo. We saw what Miami did to him. You could put, like, you have teams like whether it's Anthony Davis or something like that you could put on him, and that's about his similar weight and height. And I think it affects him more. With a guy like Kevin Durant's never going to be affected by anybody guarding him because he's that great of a scorer. Giannis,
you think Giannis is going to have the same scoring mentality as KD, and he's not.
But that's what he's there for. Giannis isn't the greatest passer in the world. I mean, Giannis is a good defender, sure, but like outside of him putting his head down and scoring, there's not much.
He's a machine. He's
7 foot. I expect that to be a rebounding machine.
Huh?
I mean, I expect people 7 foot 240 to rebound like that.
Okay, but he's an athletic freak. So when you take away the responsibility, because on the Bucks, he's forced to be like that dude. He's not going to be that dude at Golden State. He's going to be able to be that guy who's able to get all – because Steph and Clay are going to be outside shooting and scoring and doing whatever they're doing, shooting and scoring.
Well,
Giannis is going to be able to be the beneficiary of everything else, every other aspect of the game. And defensively, I'm not even talking about that, but he's going to be a great defender. He can anybody. Offensively, he is going to be able to better. He can play straight from the post. He can do whatever he wants to do, and he's going to be able to improve his game from being in that position.
Another thing would be, though, Steph likes to drive to the hole. Steph actually, he's a guard that's a shoot the three, or he's going to hit you for a layup. If you got Draymond and Giannis in at the same time, they can't both clog the paint because Steph ain't going to be able to get there. So it's not as fluid. So if Giannis is out on the corner and Draymond's out on the corner, that fluidity is not going to be the same if Steph wants to drive to the cup. And another thing, especially when it comes to playoffs, teams know how to scheme, and it's schematically different. And we saw that what teams have done to Giannis, specifically Boston, Toronto last year. Schematically, they know how to game plan. I think easier for a guy like Giannis than you would know how for a Kevin Durant. And if you want to use he will be a great rebounder, he'll be a great defender, sure. But I think when it all comes down to it, when you have a guy like Kevin Durant, whether he's not the greatest rebounder or the best defender like Giannis or something, when it's that crunch time or when it's I need a bucket, or if we're the momentum's shifting, it's Kevin Durant, man. He's a killer.
That's my point. It doesn't have to be. You have Clay and let those guys be your scorers. When you have another guy, there's only one ball. So if I have 3 Kobe Bryants on one team, only one of them is going to shoot the ball. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are both 2 of the greatest shooters of all time and 2 of the greatest scorers of all time. Why do I need another one? I'd rather have another player who can give me a lot in another aspect or multiple different aspects than scoring. I don't need another scorer.
I don't know if Klay Thompson's a guy that's not creating his own shot. You got to create for him. And I think of the offense, and they've always had in the past. I don't know if that changes much, like the ball movement stuff with Giannis, but that's what Klay's game is predicated on, of the ball movement. Right. Steph, on the other hand, can create a shot and stuff like that. But you got to think, if this Giannis thing does come true, they're all going to be a year or 2 older. So does Steph still, after coming off injury, even though it was a thumb injury, Steph's gonna be at 32? And then who's your other guy that's creating their own shot? If they don't have something, Draymond ain't creating his own damn shot. Clay's not. If Giannis can, when he puts the ball on the ground, sticks his head down. But if teams schematically know how to game plan against that, we're putting so much on Steph. We saw who it was in the playoffs. It's that mid-range game. When it comes playoff time, MJ, mid-range. Kawhi, mid-range. Kevin Durant, mid-range. Even LeBron back when he went to the final 2018, he was killing teams with his mid-range. So I think, granted, you don't got the Stephs and the Clays out there, so it's probably be easier, but I just think schematically, coaches will know how to show and use Giannis's deficiencies.
The same way coaches can scheme against it, I think Steve Kerr, and he's shown to be able to utilize his lineups in the best way.
Yeah.
I think he'd be able to use Giannis in that same way.
Now, saying that, I think the Warriors would still be a damn good team with Giannis, man. I think they would be up there with, if not the favorites, I don't know, but it depends how the league shakes up. But yeah, they'd still be a very good team. I just don't think they would be better with Kevin Durant. They won 2 championships. Could have won 3, but yeah.
So Dana White of the UFC commission and everything, the UFC is gonna have their first fight this weekend. They're getting everything started, and he said, the other leagues, the NBA, the NFL, these big organized leagues, the only reason they're not getting and pronouncing their start dates and everything like that is because they're scared of the criticism, while the UFC isn't. And we've seen the UFC be bold in the past. So we'll see how this goes. He says they're going to show how sports are going to be able to be played and be safe at the same time. It's going to serve as an example for other leagues. We'll see. I hope so.
I mean, when he said the other leagues are scared, is that what he said?
Yeah, he said they're scared of the criticism. And he's not wrong.
Yeah, but
with a lot of implications in the UFC.
And you're also carrying, you got to think, UFC, you're not carrying pro baseball, football, basketball, soccer. You're carrying a lot more crew than UFC. So it's a lot harder to do it. Like, I can go stick 5 people with my freaking, hey, let's go, boom, it's good. But if I go we got to get 60 people, 30 teams, whatever it is, it's a little more difficult. So I don't know about the scare part. I don't know if that really makes sense. But, Dana White, he's good, man. That man, he's all about business, and he wants to make moves, and I think he does. And I mean, he's funny. I like him, and I like the UFC. And what he's doing, we'll see. I think it's exciting. So it could either go 2 ways. It could be, bad, or it can go great.
I mean, if he proves to be right, then we're getting sports earlier. You know what I mean? Because he said he's going to set the mark and show everybody how it's done, and leagues are going to follow.
You think leagues are really paying attention to what he's doing now with UFC? Like,
if they're able to do this and it's clean and it works, then yeah, for sure.
Is it no fans?
Man, the details. I don't even know if it's no fans or whatever, however that is. But
I think gonna be having 4 people in there.
Regardless, if there's no fans, I mean, at least you're getting it started. It's going to be televised and everything like that. Obviously, it's not the same atmosphere, but
no, but like it's going to be a lot easier because you're not carrying the people or the team.
I just want to see it be like that first one.
Yeah, no, it'd be cool to.
And Donald Trump was the one that said, the first thing we need to get everything back on track is live sports. So Donald Trump is all in on that, and apparently
he is.
The main factor in giving Dana White like the decision and all that kind of stuff.
Shit, give me LeBron and the boys next, and then make sure football follows. But yeah, man, did you hear about this story? I'm reading on my phone. A former soccer player, Hanik, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Kamba, was presumed dead in 2016. This just surfaced the internet like yesterday or the day before. Was presumed dead in a car crash 2016, and they have now found him in Germany alive and well, working at his like a chemical technician job. And
player now they found him as a chemical technician.
Yeah, they said there's 100% no reason to believe that this is not him. And man, if 2020 can't get any crazier, like what the hell? We got dude, we had thought 26, that's 4 years ago. This man's alive now, and I don't know like all the details, like his wife. I don't know if it was like what happened. She took a bunch of money or whatever, but he was presumed dead in 2016, and now the dude's freaking a chemical technician. alive.
I feel like, yo, that's not a slight brag, yo. I'm out. Yeah, I'm a chemical technician. Like that might be better than being a soccer player. He might have upgraded after he died.
Man, if he was like on an island or some shit these last 4 years, he need to go back, man, because he came at the wrong time with coronavirus and shit.
What, bro? What happened? We all know about the Tupac shit. Like,
yeah, I know. I thought it would be him.
Yo, like where they at? Like I'm trying to say Tupac. Shit, if Michael, I don't know if Michael Jackson wants to come back after the whole documentary stuff that came out last year, but give us the greats back, man. Give us the greats back. That's very weird.
We got Hanik Combo. Yeah, I mean that is damn it. Yeah, like I said, if 2020 can't get any more weird, that's wild.
Shit, man.
I don't know if they had it set up or some shit. I don't know if there's like some beneficial money factor that him and his wife get. I don't even know if they're together. But
well, apparently they're not even being like they're not because it's like crime, right? To like fake your death or whatever, and apparently they're not,
some fraud crap, yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I don't even think. Yeah, I don't know if
and everything. This man, my man is a chemical technician, and he's not paying taxes, and he's living good in Germany, playing some good sausage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think they got I don't know. Yeah, whatever he's doing, I don't know, man. That just is a wild story.
Put it this way: if I plan on faking my death, I'll come back as a chemical technician. That sounds like a good game.
Yeah, chemical technician. Yeah, it's not bad. And then, yeah, that's not bad. You'll be on People's Magazine afterwards. You might need to change your name, though. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Safety, bro.
Yeah, you don't want anybody coming after you.
So that's it for this Friday version of Beyond the Lines. Thank you guys for watching. Another week in the books. For sure, man. It's episode 3 now. Done. And this is a good episode, man. This one was fun. Each day, they always get better, but this one was good. Got into it a little bit. Yeah. I know you love your LeBron stuff, so whenever I can. Dennis Rodman was the one who provided me with the ammunition there. You know what I mean? So, but I knew that would rile your feathers up a little bit. I already know Dennis Rodman. He's a little crazy. Kind of look at him. But yeah, man, this was a good one, man. This was fun. I like doing these, and we keep getting better every time. Yeah, man, it's gonna keep getting better. Everybody watching, thank you. We appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, kind of everything. We're gonna have social media all in the description and everything. So come find us, follow us, and we appreciate your service. For sure, man. For sure. Like you said, do all those little tasks, and we'll keep providing you with some great content. We'll see what we bring to you next on Monday. Be ready for that, and stay tuned. Sure.